Today is 2nd of May 2025. Yesterday I talked how repeated application of aiming and energy permit the mindfulness to arise, and characteristic of mindfulness, function, manifestation, and proximate cause of sati mindfulness. Meanwhile, I talk the immediate benefits we can enjoy by having sati mindfulness, and I talk sati mindfulness protects, it blocks, defends, hence mind stream becomes protected, safe, deliverance is there, and then calmness of the mind. That is what I talked yesterday. Today also I will talk more about the benefits can enjoy having mindfulness. Yesterday I said mindfulness protects or take cares as if doorkeeper take cares or protects. So we have 6 sense doors. We have 6 sense doors: eye base, ear base, nose base, tongue base, body base, and mind as a mind door. So these are the 6 sense doors. Visible object strikes on eye base, and seeing consciousness ignite. Seeing consciousness is ignition. Like when we strike matchstick on matchbox, fire ignition is there. Similarly, visible object is striker. Visible object is striker. Eye base is receiver or receptor, and seeing consciousness is ignition. Similarly, audible object is striker, air base is receptor, hearing consciousness is ignition, and so on. And if we talk about the mind, mind itself is the mind door. Mental objects strikes and mental consciousnesses arise. So in this way, there are 6 sense doors. Mindfulness is the doorkeeper of these six sense doors. It doesn't admit the unwholesomenesses. It doesn't admit the kilesas, defilements, impurities. When a visible object strikes on eye base and seeing consciousness arise, mindfulness is aware of seeing consciousness, and yogi is known as seeing. So just seeing, it doesn't permit or it doesn't admit greed, anger, or any other defilements. When we are not mindful, when we are not mindful, when visible object strike on eye base and seeing consciousness arise, greed tends to arise if the visible object is pleasing. Anger tends to arise when visible object is unpleasing, and other defilements as well. Illusion, delusion, envy, doubt, and so on. But when we note seeing as seeing on the right time, those impurities have no chance to arise. It ends in seeing. It ends in seeing. That is why Buddha mentioned when yogis practice vipassana meditation or satipatthana meditation, in the scene, it will be merely what is seen. So just seeing, consciousness is there. No chance to arise greed, anger, hatred, illusion, delusion, and other defilements. So this is how mindfulness protects. Mindfulness protects the mind stream, or how mindfulness is doorkeeper. Similarly, when audible object strike on eye base, ear base, smellable object strike and nose base, tastable object strike on tongue base, tangible on body base, and mental object strike on mind. Mindfulness protects. Like when we go to the dining hall, when we see delicious food, greed tends to arise. Unless we note seeing. If food looks not delicious, then anger likely to arise. Another example, while we are doing sitting meditation, when we hear a loud sound, we startle. We startle. We startle means Because of anger, we startled. We didn't note hearing as hearing, so anger has arisen. Anger was there. When we become capable to note hearing as hearing, no matter how loud sound it is, we won't be startled. Means anger has no chance to arise. So this is how mindfulness perform as a doorkeeper. Mindfulness perform as a doorkeeper. In this way, mindfulness is compared with doorkeeper because it takes care, it doesn't permit, it doesn't admit the kilesas from the entrance of six sense doors. So this is the explanation that I mentioned. The mindfulness protects the mind stream, or mindfulness is simile to doorkeeper. We can also say as security guard as well. Security guard take care of protects land or building or compound or even a portion. Nowadays, like a dignitary VIP person has even bodyguard to protect. In border, law enforcement is there to protect the border. So security guards are to protect. Security guard is to protect oneself from enemies. The more enemies we have, the more protection is needed. The more protection is needed. So what is enemy, or who is enemy? Enemy is a person who is opposed, or antagonistic to another person, or simply who is harmful, who is deadly, who does not perform the welfare of another person. So that is called as enemy. And there are two kinds of enemy. First one is Puggala Vera in Pali. Puggala Vera means enemy in person. Enemy in person, and it is quite obvious. We are quite familiar with the enemy in person. And the second is enemy in the form of unwholesomeness. Enemy in form of unwholesomeness, or in the form of defilements. In Pali, it is called as akusala vera or kilesa vera. In this way, there are two kinds of enemies. Enemy in person is a far enemy. Enemy in form of defilement or unwholesomeness is a near enemy. Enemy in person is less dangerous enemy. Enemy in the form of akushala or kilesa is dangerous, more dangerous enemy. Enemy in person can be deadly as well. But he or she can harm another person only in this very life. He or she can't harm in next lives. But enemy in form of unwholesomeness and in form of defilements are very harmful, not only in this life, but coming lives, in numerous lives. It can be caused to reborn in lower existences, in awful existences. Enemy in person may not be cause for to reborn in lower existences, but the enemy in a form of unwholesomeness can be the cause to reborn in lower existences. So in that sense, enemy in the form of akushala is more dangerous. And as I just mentioned, it is near enemy. It is always with us wherever we go, like 24/7. All the time, this enemy can be with us. But enemy in person is hardly can be with us 24/7. That is why enemy in person is a far enemy, and enemy in form of akushala or in the form of kilesa is near enemy. Enemy in unwholesome form of akusala can keep torturing, keep harming, keep tormenting all along the time. All along the time, always can harm. So that's why more dangerous and can be the cause to reborn in lower existence. But people are not much curious about the enemy in the form of akushala. They are mostly curious about the enemy in person. Here in meditation, by practicing meditation, again, we are trying to protect oneself from enemy in form of akushala, in the form of kilesa, because it is the most dangerous. It is the most dangerous enemy. By giving not chance, by not admitting, by preventing, we are trying to protect oneself. So mindfulness takes care, mindfulness protects our mind from the enemy in form of akushala, in a form of defilement. So that is why we can again compare the mindfulness as security guard, as well as a guard. Having mindfulness, we prevent our mind to not to arise the kilesas. Prevention is there, and by any chance kilesas arise, instantly we dispel by noting. Because prevention is better than cure. In medical field, we say prevention is better than cure. Similarly, here also prevention is better than cure. We have to prevent defilements, kilesas, to not to arise by observing presently arising object. If mind is well focused, if mind has penetrated into the presently arising object, at that time prevention is there. Kilesas have no chance to arise. Defilements have no chance to arise. So prevention is there. And by any chance, anger, greed, kilesas arise, immediately we note, because awareness is there. Awareness knows that, oh, anger as anger, greed as greed, envy as envy, proud as proud, doubt as doubt, sloth as sloth. And we note and we dispel immediately. And have to dispel immediately. We should not let kilesas to stay longer. The longer they stay, the longer they stay, the the more they become powerful, they become the stronger they become. So have to dispel immediately. So that is also what we are doing. Defilements are like fire. We have to extinguish immediately. Again, prevention is better. Prevention is better because we know how dangerous fire is. So we take care something not to catch fire. By any chance something catch fire, then immediately we extinguish. So prevention and cure, prevention and cure. That is also what we do right now. And to understand more about this, Uh, Here I would like to talk a few things about the mind, the nature of the mind. Mind arises so swiftly, so rapidly. Within a second, millions and billions of mind arise and pass away. Just imagine within a second. Within a second, millions and billions of mind arise and pass away. So, how fast mind is? It is so fast, that's why we think so many mind arise at the same time. In fact, they don't. For example, uh, let's say you are sitting, you are sitting on luxurious, luxurious scented bed, and the bed is quite smooth. Meanwhile, you are eating delicious food and watching movie. Means all the five sense objects are present at that moment. Visible object, audible object, smellable object, tastable object, and tangible object are present. You may think that you may think all five sense consciousnesses are arising at the same time. In fact, not. Two minds can't arise at the same time. Two minds can't arise at the same time. One moment, one mind. One moment, one mind. If seeing consciousness is there, then hearing consciousness is not present. If hearing consciousness, then no seeing consciousness. Similarly, with the smelling consciousness, tasting and touching, means two consciousnesses can't arise at same time, but the mind is so fast, super fast. That's why you think all consciousnesses are arising at the same time. At the same time, there is nothing faster than the mind. Like uh, scientists, scientists, they say that sunlight is the fastest. Like a sunlight takes, they say like 8 minutes, 20 seconds to hit on the earth. But for the mind, within a second, even it doesn't take a second to take the object of sun. So that fast mind is the fastest. Mind is the fastest, and it travels afar as well. You are here, but you can easily take the object of your house, your home, or the place where you live. You are living in America, but you can take the object of Asia. Wherever in this world or wherever in this universe, within second mind can take that object. In fact, it doesn't take even a second. So that fast mind is. So here what we need to understand is with at a moment a mind, a single mind arise, not double mind, not triple mind. At a moment one mind, then another mind, then another mind. So in this way, at a moment one mind arise. So that means when wholesome mind arises, then unwholesome mind has no chance to arise. In contrast, if unwholesome mind arises, then wholesome mind has no chance to arise. So, if mindfulness is there, because mindfulness is wholesome mental factor. Mindfulness is wholesome mental factor, and when mindfulness is present, mind is also wholesome. Wholesome mental factors arise, so the mind becomes wholesome. When unwholesome mental factors arise, mind becomes unwholesome. Mental factors are like colors, and mind is like water. When we mix red color into water, then we say red water. When we mix blue one, then blue water. When we mix black one, then black water. So when greed is there, we say greedy mind. When anger is there, we say angry mind, and so on. So mental factors are like colors, and mind is like water. Mindfulness is one of the mental factors. So when mindfulness is there, it is wholesome mental factor. And when wholesome mental factor is there, when mind is wholesome, then unwholesome mind has no chance to arise. Energy itself is wholesome. If concentration is present, concentration, this is good one, good concentration. When wisdom is there, then wisdom is wholesome. Moral fear, moral shame is wholesome. Faith and confidence that we have is the wholesome one. When these wholesome mental factors are present, unwholesome mental factors have no chance to arise. So this is how we don't give rooms for unwholesomenesses or to kilesas. That is what we call mind is free from defilements. That is what we call mind is free from unwholesomenesses. Mind is free from defilements, because two unwholesome or wholesome mind can't arise together. So this is also how mindfulness protects our mind stream, and mind become free of defilements. Mind become free of defilements. Again, when we yesterday I talked again about the freedom, deliverance. So Generally, what we know about the freedom is the state where one can do, act, or speak, or think, whatever, without being constrained. That is what we have understood about freedom. Since ordinary mind delights on unwholesomeness, I repeat, the mind of ordinary people delights on unwholesomeness. When we let the mind free, generally unwholesome mentalities arise. Greed arise, anger arise, envy, jealous, doubt, illusion, delusion arise. Mind is free. Mind, we have let the mind free. We have pampered. We have spoon feed. We have let the mind free, whatever it likes to occur or it likes to do, it likes to act. And mostly unwholesome mind mentalities arise because restraint is not there, or development of mind is not there. But here, by practicing meditation, we are trying to develop another type of freedom, that is free from defilements, free from kilesas. As mindfulness develops and protects the mind stream, defends, keep the mind safe, protected, freedom is there. Being free from defilements, impurities. That is the real freedom. That is the real freedom. And we can enjoy freedom when mindfulness is present. When mindfulness is present, this is again the immediate benefit we can enjoy having mindfulness. So freedom is there. Then, as I mentioned yesterday, when freedom is there, mind become calm, peaceful. That is santi. Santi is there, calmness is there. Meanwhile, mind becomes secluded. Mind becomes secluded. And because of that seclusion, rapture, joy, and mental happiness tend to arise. They are called as piti sukha. Piti is rapture and sukha is mental happiness. Sukha and rapture tend to arise. We call viveka as a piti sukha. Rapture and mental happiness generated through the seclusion of mind. So that is the happiness we are talking about on the very first day. I talked two types of happiness, sensuous happiness and happiness generated by seclusion of the mind. So this is the happiness generated by the seclusion of mind, but this is yet to be the greatest one, uh, to be strongest one. This is just the beginning. When your mindfulness becomes stronger, protection becomes stronger, defense becomes stronger, then mind become more free of defilements, more freedom, more deliverance, and stronger calmness, stronger peacefulness, then stronger joy, rapture, and greater happiness. In contrast, if mindfulness is not strong, then protection is not good, it is not stronger, less stronger. And when protection is not good, defense also no good. When defense is no good, then you have not a good freedom. When you have no good freedom, then calmness, peacefulness, not strong. And when you have not a good or strong calmness and freedom, your joy, your mental bliss or happiness is also not strong, is weak. So that is why we need to make the strong mindfulness. We have to try our best to make more and more stronger mindfulness. If we make it stronger, then finally the joy, rapture, and mental happiness become greater. Right now, we are having battle between the good and bad. Practicing meditation is like battle between good and evil. On one hand, wholesome mind, wholesome mentalities. On another hand, unwholesome mind and mentalities. At the beginning of the practice, we lose a lot. At the beginning of the practice, less in numbers, good mentalities, they are weak, so they lose a lot. At the beginning of the practice, unwholesome mentalities, mental factors or defilements are many in numbers, they are strong, so mostly they have victory. But by practicing meditation, we develop more numbers of good mentalities which haven't arisen, which haven't developed. We develop good mind, mental factors which are not there, we develop, like mindfulness, we develop, which hasn't arisen yet. Concentration, not there, not arisen yet, we develop. Wisdom, not arisen yet, we develop. Some are already there, but not yet strong. That is why we lose, we lose, we surrender at the beginning of the practice. For example, when pain is there, like kilesas manipulate, rationalization is there. A few inch, I will move a few inch. So rationalization is there, we move. Laziness often arises. Laziness insists not to apply energy, and we pamper that. We pamper to laziness, we listen. Especially, we are the slave of greed. Buddha mentioned we are slave of greed. Tanha daso, slave of greed. Whatever greed asks to get, we try our best to get it. Whatever greed asks to get, we get. We try our best to get. We listen to greed. If that food, then that food. If that object, then that object. Whatever pleasing object, whatever object we like or greed likes, we give everything to get it. So, because mind has no potency, mind has not such a power developed to defeat the greed. But now we are trying our best to develop good mental qualities to beat, to conquer the unwholesome mind and mentalities. And as I just mentioned, the good mental qualities which are not there in our mind stream, we are trying to develop, and which are already there, we are trying to make them strong. When there is battle between the two military forces, quantity, quality is needed. So here also quantity. Many numbers of the good mental factors are needed, and in quality they must be strong enough. For a simple example, if mindfulness is not strong, then we miss the object. We forget the object. If loving kindness is not strong, then anger arises. We fall victim to anger. We fall victim to anger. If wisdom is not strong, fall victim to illusion and delusion. So there are many opposite mental factors. Illusion, delusion, and knowledge are directly opposite to each other. Anger and loving kindness are directly opposite to each other. If if loving kindness is strong, then anger has no chance to arise. But if anger is strong, then loving kindness has no chance to arise. By practicing meditation, we dispel anger and we develop. We develop loving kindness. When anger subsides, automatically loving kindness takes place. When wisdom develops, illusion, delusion subside. Illusion, delusion subside. When greed subsides, then all over. Non-greed, it is also the mental factor. It develops. So in this way, good mental qualities develop, and as we develop again and again by being mindful, then they become strong. They become strong. Like concentration also. Concentration, good mental factor. Then restlessness is opposite to concentration. If restlessness is there, no concentration. If concentration is there, then no restlessness. If your concentration is strong, then it will beat restlessness. But if restlessness is strong, then it will beat the concentration. So need to be strong. So that's why here the practicing meditation is like battle between the good and evil. And yeah, I believe that many of yogis definitely have failed like a battle, a meditation. It is meditation. And again, by practicing meditation, yogis come to know, yogis come to know about the body and mind, especially about the mind, the nature of the mind. Like now, yogis realize the thinking and thoughts. So many thinking and thoughts yogis realize. In fact, these thinking and thoughts are not arising just now. In the past also, they were there. But in the past, there was no mindfulness, there was no concentration, so you didn't realize. But now awareness is there, concentration is there, that's why you realize, oh, like, this thinking is there, that thinking is there, this planning, that planning. And at the beginning of the practice, yogis mostly discover the impure thinking and thoughts or impure mentalities because they are there. Because they are there. It is like looking at the mirror. Why do we look at the mirror? In order to check, in order to see whether there are any dirties on our face. And when we see what we do, we clean because we want to be good looking. We want to be good looking. Here, using the mindfulness meditation, we see what kind of mind and mentalities are there. And at the beginning, as I just mentioned, mostly we see impure mind, polluted mind, disgusting mind, mind and mentalities endowed with anger, greed, illusion, delusion, jealous, envious, doubtful, and so on. And we don't just see these impure mind and mentalities. Slowly we discover that, oh, because of these impure mind and mentalities, I'm suffering. These are the cause of suffering. you will realize the cause of suffering as well. And you will understand that, oh, if I dispel these impurities, if I clean these impurities, then I will be happy. Happiness will be there. So the desire to clean the mind also develops. The desire to clean the mind also develops. And the stronger desire, the stronger energy. When we have a great desire, then we try harder. That's why the stronger desire, the stronger energy. And when stronger energy, then stronger mindfulness. And when stronger mindfulness, then stronger concentration. And the stronger concentration, the stronger wisdom. So yogis realize by themselves, yogis realize the mind and mentalities. The yogis realize who they are or how they are, how pure they are, how polluted they are, how weak their mind is, how strong their mind is, how mature their mind is, how immature their mind is. So yogis realize, and definitely they realize immaturity, weakness, pollutions, so degraded things, because this is our nature, ordinary, the mind, and this is the nature of the ordinary people. You realize, yogis realize, and as I just mentioned, the desire to be free from these impurities also develops, and we try more. And this is possible again, this is also possible again by the development of the mindfulness. If we don't develop mindfulness, we can't discern, we can't discover these things. So these are all about the benefits of the mindfulness. So today, mostly we talk about the benefits of the mindfulness. So by knowing how beneficial it is to develop the mindfulness, how beneficial it is to develop mindfulness, or simply how beneficial the practice is that we are practicing. By knowing that, may you all be able to try harder and be able to develop stronger mindfulness. And by development of strong mindfulness, may you able to have stronger protection, stronger defense, and greater freedom, greater peacefulness, calmness, and greater rapture and greater happiness.